Have you ever felt like the broken parts of your story are kind of the only parts that matter? Well, today we're going to dive into a really powerful idea from our source material, the journey from that feeling of brokenness all the way back to wholeness. So let's get into it.
It's a heavy question, right? I mean, it is so easy to get caught in this loop where we believe our past failures, our missteps, all our regrets, that they're the final word on who we are. But what if that's not the whole story? What if there's more?
So, here's the first big idea we need to wrap our heads around. Your value isn't something you earn, and it's definitely not something you can lose. You know, we talk about self-esteem, which goes up and down with how well we're doing. But this is about true self-worth, which is constant. And according to the source, that inherent worth was set in stone long before you ever had a chance to make a single mistake.
Just look at the timeline this verse sets up. This isn't about being known after you've done something. It says, before you were even formed, a plan and a purpose were already there for you. What that means is your identity was sealed in a promise, not defined by your performance.
And this comparison just lays it all out, doesn't it? On one side, you've got that whisper that your failures are who you are. But on the other, there's this powerful promise from the very same book, Jeremiah. And it's not about condemnation. It's about a future and a hope. It completely flips the script on shame. And we're not just talking about a spiritual get-out-of-jail-free card here. This restoration is about total renewal. The source material points us to John 10:10, where the goal isn't just forgiveness. It's about giving life and giving it more abundantly. That means a life that is truly whole, spirit, soul, and body.
Okay, so how does this whole healing journey actually start? Well, it begins with something that might sound a little backward, a little counterintuitive, but it is absolutely the foundation for everything else: surrender.
You know, we hear the word submission, and we immediately think of giving up, of losing. But the source here reframes it in such a beautiful way. It's not about defeat, it's about freedom. It's that incredible feeling of relief when you finally hand over these struggles you were never, ever meant to win on your own. It's not so much giving up as it is letting go. This actually breaks down into a really powerful two-step process you can find in James 4:7. First, you turn toward God. That's where the healing starts. And then, from that position of surrender, you can actively resist the enemy's influence. And we're told that his power over you just gets weaker. It's a proactive move, not a passive one.
So after surrender, the next stage often involves something that can be, let's be honest, pretty tough. It's separation. But it's so important to understand this isn't about punishment. It's all about preparation.
Think of it almost like a spiritual quarantine. God isn't pushing you away. He is redirecting you to a safe place where you can heal without being constantly bombarded by the very things that broke you. It's a strategic retreat so you can be restored.
And you know, this isn't some new idea. Our source material shows this pattern all over the place in Scripture. Before a great blessing, there was almost always a great separation. Abraham had to leave his home. Israel had to leave Egypt. The disciples had to leave their nets behind. It seems that leaving is often the first step to receiving.
Now this brings us to a really critical point. The whole goal of this separation is never to leave you alone or isolated. The real goal is to get you into proper alignment for the journey that's ahead.
So what might feel like a dead end, losing friends, changing your environment, is actually God clearing a protected path just for you. It's not about making your life empty. It's about making space for something so much better. You're being aligned with your true purpose.
And wow, there is some deep wisdom here. In fact, our source even points out that modern neuroscience actually backs this up. Our brains can literally reactivate old, harmful pathways when we're in places or with people linked to past trauma or addiction. So that ancient warning, it's a very real, very practical strategy for rewiring your brain for a better life.
Let's just be real for a second. This whole process can hurt. Letting go of people and places that were once your entire world, that can feel like a massive loss. But we've got to reframe what's actually going on here.
This right here is the turning point. That ache you feel when you let go, that's the sound of old chains breaking. It's the discomfort that comes with growth. That feeling is the very first sign that a deep, powerful transformation is starting to take root in your life. That's how you know something new is really happening. And this is the ultimate truth of this entire journey. You are not losing your identity. You're finally uncovering the one you were created to have all along. This isn't about subtraction, it's a profound discovery of the life you were always meant to live.
So as we wrap up, I just want to leave you with this to think about. Instead of focusing on what you might be leaving behind, ask yourself this. What new, protected, purpose-filled path is opening up right in front of me? What new thing is just beginning?